Well, welcome back to the Ropes Family Podcast. It's like we were just doing this.
Whoa. Mind blown.
We were just doing it, but you were hearing this a week later. But literally, we stopped recording for 30 seconds from the last episode and we're recording this one. And the reason why is probably while you were listening to this episode, there's probably a new crab in the house.
Yay!
Maybe. Hopefully, if all things go well, by the time you're hearing this episode, there will be a new crab. And we don't know what it is. We will at that point. Maybe. But we don't know at the time of this recording. We don't know boy, girl, alien. But we know it's in there. We do know it's in there. So that's why we're recording this episode early. Normally, we wait till the very last second. That's our normal quota, right? Mm-hmm. We like to wait till the very last second of the time to record. Now look at us. Look at us now.
A week early.
We're here.
Gosh.
Speaking of a week early, we're having the baby at 37 weeks. So I guess that's full term. It is full term.
I had a 37-weeker. He's 14.
Oh, that's good. 37-weeker.
That's they call him.
37-weeker.
Bro. Little bro.
Yeah, there's a couple babies being born in these last couple weeks, Januaries, that we're doing Februaries.
All these babies.
Couple of these babies being born. And I guess it's okay to say Jessica, congratulations. Jessica and GD, congratulations on your little baby. If you're listening to this by then, which I think you are, because I think you're one of our faithful listeners. Thank you for listening, Jessica. But today we're talking. Courtney, you came up with, like I said in the last couple episodes, you've come up with the topic. So you've come up with the topic for this episode. What is it?
Well, I'm a part of like 50,000 Facebook groups, and a lady wrote on this Facebook group, "I love Jesus, but I do not attend church regularly. Is that okay?"
What was that word?
Shut up. I have a speech impediment, and that is a hard word.
I didn't. Sorry, I'm not making fun of you. Regularly.
Not really. I just can't say that word.
I couldn't spell it if you were asking me, so that's okay. So if you love Jesus, but if you don't,
she just said she did not attend church regularly. Is that okay?
Is that okay?
And then people were commenting back, and there were so many different answers, like saying, yes, that's perfectly fine. It's just between you and God, or no, absolutely not. You have to go to church, or yeah, it's your faith. It has nothing to do with other people. And it was just blowing my mind. And she would comment back and say, they would go at Christmas, or they went at Easter, or she'd taken her kids a couple times, or she had dropped her kids off for vacation Bible school. And so it just got me thinking about church attendance.
Yeah.
And
this is a tough one. It can step on a lot of people's toes here.
Well, even steps on mine.
And it's hard for me to do this because I am a lover of church. Mm-hmm. I literally want to be at church all the time. And I work at a church, so that's a good thing that I want to be here all the time. But when we try to answer this question, is it okay I love Jesus, but is it okay to not attend church regularly? Well, let's start with what the church is. And what the church is, and we'll start with what the church isn't too. I've got both of these. So what the church is it's a family. It's a community of believers, right? A church is where we worship the Lord, where we grow in our faith, where we sharpen our faith. The verse in Proverbs says, iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. Church is where we do that. And the church is the believers. It is the body of Christ. And this is what the church isn't. The church isn't a school, or it isn't a building. The church isn't about us. Also, is another thing I wrote. But it's for us. But it's not. It's for us to be a part of. But it's not about us.
Right.
It's not about making us feel comfortable or being. It's not about that. It's for us, but it's not about us. And the church is not unimportant. The church is important. And as a believer, it is important to be a part of. And in Hebrews 10.
24 and 25.
Oh, is that what you're going to read?
Yeah.
Okay. Hebrews 10 and 24 and 25 says, let's see, let me pull it up here. Where's it at? It says, and let us consider how to stir up one another in love and good works, not neglecting to meet together, as is the habit of some, but encouraging one another, and all the more as you see the day drawing near. So it's pretty clear in Hebrews. Do not neglect to meet with one another. Do not neglect to be part of the body. But that's tough because, like I said, the church isn't a building. The church is the people. So for this lady, I would ask, do you have a solid body of believers around you? Do you have people that can speak correction into you? Do you have people that could speak life into you? Or is it just your own faith? It's about you, girl. You know, is it your faith about you, or is your faith about Christ? And so that would be a tough question that I would answer that way. And you know, you have to, because it's biblical. Do not neglect to meet with one another. But do we have to be at church every time the doors are open? And we got to think about who is the church. Because it's not a building, but it's about who is the church. We are the body. The body of Christ is the church. And so we need to be participants in that. And so every time you're participating in the body of Christ, the church doors are open. And if we're commanded in Hebrews also to, you know, stir up in one another to love and to do good works, where else can we do that? Do you have a group of people in your life doing that? Then you don't, you know, right. That's the hard part. And you know, our current paradigm of church is tough because there was a movement called the seeker sensitive movement. It's still kind of there, but it made church very accessible for anybody to come as you are, which is true. Church is come as you are, but you don't have to. If you're uncomfortable, we're sorry, we'll change it.
Yeah.
Church isn't supposed to be that. You know, we're supposed to teach and admonish one another, you know, correct, rebuke, you know, like.
Right.
Church is a place to come to be made more like Christ, to sharpen iron. It's not a place to come and be made comfortable. And the church now, or the church, today's American church is full of that. I don't like going to that church because I'm not being fed there, or I don't like going to that church because they play weird music, or I don't like that church because nobody talked to me. Yeah. It's not about you. Like I said, church is not about you. It's about Christ. It's for you to participate in it. But it's not about you. You got anything before I just keep going on with this?
No, I have a lot, but
okay, go ahead.
Like you said, I love church too, and it's not because I work here. I mean, I come during the week, and I love it. I love being here. The people here, they push me to search for God further, or to ask, that was terrible English, or to ask more questions, or to study something more, because they say things that I'm like, oh, I haven't thought of that, or I haven't thought of it that way, or whatever. And that's back to, it's the body of believers. It's not this building. This building, I mean, if we were meeting in the parking lot in a tent, like we did, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing. It's church. It's the people. And that to me is what matters, is being around believers to where you're being corrected if you need it. I know some women that would say, Courtney, that is not right. You cannot keep doing that. You cannot keep living that way. They wouldn't have, a second thought about telling me that. Yeah. And you have to have those believers in your life so that you stay, in your faith, and you stay searching and you have to keep searching for God and keep studying, and you have to stay in it. You can't just say, oh, I'm a Christian. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Forever. And I think my short answer is you need to be in church, is what I put. Your children need to be here. Yes, I 100% believe that. But they also need to see their parents coming. Yeah. And it's not always comfortable. No. I mean, how many times on a Wednesday night, even before I worked here, was I like, oh my goodness, we have to go. was a horrible day. They're all grouchy. Like, if we could just eat and then take baths and go to bed.
Yeah.
But we come and then everybody's in a great mood. And, you know, we've talked to our friends. We're all wondering. I'm like, okay, that was worth it.
Yeah.
And they have to see you getting out of your comfort zone, me included, and going. Mm-hmm. And that's hard for parents, I think, just to be like, I don't want to get up on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I want to sleep in because on Saturday we had basketball at 6 a.m.
Yeah, but you were there.
But yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Sorry, toes.
Oh no, main stuff's on my own. We play baseball.
Yeah.
But if you can get up and go on Saturday morning, you can get up and be here. It's 10 a.m. for Bible class and then 11 for church. Like that's not crazy early, or at least to me, it's not.
Yeah, and it's not necessarily our church.
No.
Any church. You can find a church that starts at 2 p.m.
Yeah.
You could church. There's places. If you want to go to church, you can find church at any time of the day, anytime, anywhere.
Yeah.
There is a church, I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about coming to necessarily to my church.
No, I was just saying our church because that's the church that
I agree.
I'm in.
But if you're listening to this Ropes Family podcast, it's fine to go to any other church.
You can go wherever you want.
Please. And so there's the thing, some of my youth kids have been going to other churches for go be with friends. And the first thing I say is, I'm like, I am so glad you were at church.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you here. Hey, where were you? I like to ask, where were you? And, and they're like, oh, man. And they feel bad telling me. Like, don't feel bad. I want you to be at church. I do not, like, if you're at a church, if you're worshiping the Lord, you're growing in your faith, please. That's what I'm here to do. I would love you here. I would love you to be here. But if you are growing in your faith, go to a church that helps you do that. As long as they're a good church and not like one of the churches I was talking about earlier, to make you where you can hide. If you feel like if you're going to church, a certain church, because you can kind of slip in the back and not be seen and kind of get your worship on or whatever, or you can kind of go in and go out with being unseen, then I would challenge you to do something different. Mm-hmm. Go to a different place. Be seen. Say hi to somebody, even if they're not saying hi to you. Mm-hmm. Like if you're visiting a church and nobody says hi to you, say hi to them. Mm-hmm. It's just like the phone works both ways, right? Mm-hmm. If nobody says hi to you, say hi to them. How do you that? I know, and as socially awkward as I can be sometimes, I'm like, I cannot say hi to somebody I don't know, but I will, and I've gotten good at it here because it's my job. But speaking of that, is how do we, when people have gone away from the church or haven't been here in a while because of different reasons, how do we welcome them back? How do you think that? What do you think the right way to do that is?
Like if they come back here, or are you trying to get them to come back?
Yeah, like they've been at church. They used to. So, for instance, they used to go to church a long time ago, and they would be very consistent, faithful for about a year ago. They would be very consistent, faithful. And then 6 months ago, something happened in their life, and they've kind of had to take a step back for a little bit, and then now they can start coming back again. How do you welcome those people back?
You have to start talking to them again, and not. I think I'm more of the one that's like, well, they haven't been here for 6 months. And so I'm kind of like awkward, and I'm like, I don't know what they're going to do if I walk over there and I'm like, hey, I'm so glad y'all are here. Yeah. Are they going to be like, why aren't you talking to us?
Yeah.
And so I'm more of the standoffish type. Uh-huh. I'll say hi to you, but I'm not going to be like, I'm so glad you're back, But I think some people need to hear that too.
Yeah, I think that what they don't need to hear is, hey, where have you been?
Oh, no, absolutely not.
The last 6 months. Hey, where have you been? That's not going to work.
Why haven't you been
why
at
haven't
church?
you been here? What have you been doing? Are you a heathen? Are you... And, who knows what you've been going through, Yeah. I'm not going to ask you that, but where have you been? You're supposed to be at church, There's a correct way to do that. Mm-hmm. Hey, it's so good to see you. I'm glad you're here. I'm not going to, how have you been? Not where have you been?
How have you been?
Get some story, get some context. That's how you welcome people back in the church, not just saying, where have you been? You should have been here.
Yeah.
And so moving on, church is a major part of the life of a believer. It's where we come to worship. It's where we come to grow in the Lord, right? So can you miss church? Yes, You can miss church.
Like, can you? Yes.
Yes, you can miss church. My wife is 9 months pregnant, like I just said earlier. She had to miss on Sunday because she was 9 months pregnant, and she's just like, if I would, it would have been not a pleasant experience for anybody.
Yeah.
But should she miss church? No. Should you miss church is the answer. No.
No.
If you are able, if you have to put something that doesn't matter on hold, if you have to miss the football game, if you have to miss the kickoff of the football game is what I meant to say, like on NFL. If you have to miss something, what's more important? Growing in the Lord or catching the kickoff of the game or catching or whatever else or getting a lunch early or whatever, can you miss church? Yes, but why and should you? Or those are the hard answers. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a good answer for that. Should you miss church? No.
No, you shouldn't.
Is that a sin?
I'm interested to hear his answer.
Depends. If you are choosing not to go to church because you're angry, or if you're choosing not to go to church because somebody hurt your feelings, or if you're choosing not to go to church because you're lazy.
Yeah. I
would say probably.
Yeah.
I mean, there are circumstances where it's okay to not come to church.
Yeah.
There are certain, like I said with my wife, she wasn't staying home being lazy.
Right.
And every once in a while, I would say that's fine. But if you can, be here. And don't hear that as legalistic. I'm not trying to be like, you're going to burn in hell if you don't go to church. I'm not being that. I'm just saying what church is to point you to the Lord. Mm-hmm. Sure, you can be pointed to the Lord in the forest, hunting deer, but you can't grow in your faith like that every Sunday. You can't. Sure, and I hear people say, I'm so close with the Lord when I'm out in the forest or I'm out in the woods hunting, out in creation. Sure, you can find something to point you to the Lord. Mm-hmm. But where's your iron? Mm-hmm. What iron is sharpening you? Yeah, you can take a couple buddies. But at what point does it become at what point does that become about you and not about the Lord? Mm-hmm. You can skip hunting on a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
I know you can't. I know. You totally can. I'm not going to say I've done it, but I have done it. I've hunted on a Sunday morning, and I have not hunted on a Sunday morning. Mm-hmm. You can do it. It's about choosing the Lord over yourself. That's what, and we talked about that a couple weeks ago on, seek first His kingdom. Mm-hmm. Our faith and our life is not about us once we become believers.
Right.
It's about Christ. And I think that's one thing that the church needs to reconcile with, or the people in the church needs to reconcile, is it's not about us. And I know that this podcast would sound like I'm beating people up. And I'm really trying not to because that's just the way it is, I think.
But it's okay for people to feel uncomfortable too. I mean, I've said it before 500 times. We play travel baseball. We miss Sundays. We do. Does it make it right? Heck no, it does not make it right.
Yeah.
And so it's okay for you to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because what you're being told, I mean, it can step on your toes and it's okay. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's one place, like you're saying, we get really comfortable is like, well, don't hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
What you're saying is hurting my feelings. Don't say that.
Yeah, and I don't want to go to your church because
so since you've said that, I'm done. We're not talking anymore because you said that me not going because I'm at a baseball game is not right.
Yeah.
And we're not talking anymore.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to push you away. I'm not.
No.
And I when you come back, I'm going to say, good
exactly.
To see you. Not, where have you been? Oh, you chose baseball again. I would hope. I would say that. And, I'm trying to be more conscious of that, hey, because, I'm a youth pastor and the youth kids are so busy doing a billion things.
Right.
There's seasons or there's semesters where I don't see certain youth kids because of track and basketball. and baseball. You know, the spring, I don't see about 30 kids that normally come or that are signed up for camp, but I won't see them until camp because they don't come on Wednesdays. And that's partially because I'm not going where they're going. But I also I'm about to have 4 kids.
Yeah.
At the time of this podcast, I'll have 4 kids. So like I've got things too, you know.
That's one thing with Carter's baseball team is he's always had practice on Wednesday nights for the last 3 years. And so this year, Ben Flatt told the coach, the guy that runs our organization, he said, we're not coming to practice if it's on a Wednesday night.
Wow.
And he was like, well, you know, that might be the only night we can do it. And he's like, well, then he'll be there on Saturday, but he will not come on Wednesday night.
Wow.
And they changed it. And we practice on Monday nights. And we're like, it was that easy?
And that's the thing is like if
We
parents
stood up for this.
Parents, if you stand up for it, then it'll happen. You know, the only reason they're allowing games on Sundays and on practices on Wednesdays is because parents will let it happen.
Yeah.
You know, we had a similar thing with Emerson's cheerleading, and we saw it coming where it was starting to be more and more like, and so we had to pull out. We had to stop. You know, there was a couple practices on Wednesday nights for Emerson, and it was just not. We told them we were leaving early because we were going to be at church.
Yeah.
You know, and coaches had to be okay with that, or they didn't. But that's how it's going to be. And I know that's tough. I know it's tough and hard, you know, especially when you want your kid to succeed and get playtime.
Yeah.
But church is so important for the life of the believer, like I said. Make church a priority, not just as an attender, but be plugged in, you know, be a participant in church. That's I think that's what the writer of Hebrews, which most people think is Paul, is saying. You know, like what does he say? Stir up one another in good works. Be an attender. Don't be an attender. Be a participant. Find a place. Find a church. Stir up in one another a thing to do good works and to love.
That's where the relationships are built. You're probably not going to build a relationship just seeing people in, you know, big service, saying, hey, you know, how are you? You're shaking hands. But if you go to Bible class or you volunteer in youth or you whatever, you're going to build relationships with people. And relationships with other believers is so important.
Yeah. Iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. And, you know, we could sit here and talk about church all day, you know, and it's kind of like coming from the wrong people because we work here, but
and we like being here.
You got a family challenge?
Come to church.
Family challenge is to come to church. That's a good one.
Really be involved. And
Plug
I know that some people, it's just, they don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
But find somewhere.
Yeah.
There are a million different places here you can get plugged in. You don't have to volunteer in kids or in youth. You can volunteer to hand out bulletins or to do a million different things. Just ask. We want you to be a part of us.
Please. There is so many areas that we could plug people in or there's a way that you may see a need that we have that we don't even see because we're trying to fill other needs. You may say, man, I'm really good at planting flowers and maintaining a flower bed. Please let me do that.
And your flower beds look terrible.
And we're not even thinking about it.
And we haven't even,
You know, like we have a bush that's cut in half in front of the church.
I thought about that today.
You know, we have you may be really good at cutting down bushes. You know, and we just don't even think about it because we're wilding. You know, we got a lot going on. So if you find a place or find a need, come serve.
Yeah.
Please. And that's all we got this week. Hopefully after that, I don't get fired for my comments on church and stuff. But
we love you. We just want you here. That's it.
Yeah. It's not like we're not trying to beat you up.
Nope.
And you know, we are in the same boat. You know, if I didn't work here, I'm sure it would be just as hard to get to church as the rest of us. You know, but we'll talk to y'all later. Find a church. If you don't have a church, find a church. If you want to be a part of our church, come be a part of our church. We'd love to have you. We'll talk to y'all later. Peace.